Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this live broadcast, this conversation with the community. My name is Oscar de las Salas. I opened this podcast at the beginning of the pandemic. If this is your first time watching, welcome. If you are a subscriber, welcome as well. If you happen to be watching this from Los Cabos in Mexico, welcome as well. And if you are in the Bahamas, my friend Jeff Trunchberg, who's moving to the Bahamas, welcome. This is a show for the community, for those people that like to be connected with the community or interested to know what happens in our community. Like I said, I opened this podcast at the beginning of the pandemic. Unfortunately, I got sick and I went to the hospital, had to stop it. Then I got sick again, but I'm fine. I'm here. I'm back. I had to reopen it. Several people, community leaders actually, asked me to reopen it. This is a podcast that is all produced by me. I'm the one who's clicking all this. I'm producing all the videos and making all this happen. And it is a window to talk to all of you. So you can catch me, quote unquote, um, on several of the social media portals that we have nowadays. You can go to Facebook Live and you can watch the podcast there and previous podcasts there as well. You can go to Facebook Live, my two profiles, YouTube Live, Vimeo Live, Twitch Live, Twitter Live, and I just still don't know how to do Instagram, but I will figure it out. And once I get to 100,000 followers on TikTok, I will put it there as well, because I think what we're producing or what is happening here, these conversations, are talking about our community in Phoenix, in Arizona, at a great extent, the country, and even the world, as we will see today with my guest. But this is an occasion that I was wanting to do, not now, but next month, because our Pride month in around the world is June. Actually, the day that Pride happened in New York is the day before my birthday. So it's June 28th. That's when all the riots happened in New York City, and my birthday is June 29th. So I don't think it's a coincidence, but I think it's a coincidence. That's from my perspective. But I'm just putting right here where you can see the podcast or this broadcast later on my blog. So you can see my conversation with all these community leaders and all these people that we adore. And then a little bit of my take, my afterthoughts or after interview happening on my blog with a little bit of pictures that you don't see here on the blog. Sorry, I'm a little late. Sorry, Stuart Graff, if you're watching, something happened, a glitch or whatever. That is yours is not up yet. That was our last week's podcast, but it will be this week along with my guest today, which, how do I say this? He is a force. This man, as we will see, we're going to go into details of his life, details of his personal details of his life. Let's just stop there, and then we will talk about the force that he became in a town where being LGBTQ or LGBT plus is not easy. We are in Arizona. This is a very conservative state, even though things are changing. Thankfully, slowly, but they are changing. But we have so many institutions that help the community out there. But my guest today grabs the community at large. He makes things happen. He touches people and tell them, hey, let's go, or knocks on doors, and he makes things happen. And I just love the fact that we have someone like him in our community, because we need more heroes like him. And talking about heroes, Mike Fornelli. He is my guest today. So Mike Fornelli received last year the Hero Award from Society of Chairs, and I think is such a fantastic gesture from all the chairs and co-chairs of nonprofits to give this recognition to someone, like I said, is truly a hero in our community. This was his award last year, and to my surprise, let's say our surprise, my Gary and myself, the two of us, got completely surprised by that's Mike's again, but we got completely surprised by Courtney Bennett from Tito's Vodka. I know she's watching because we got our Hero Award, and I'm trying to play. Let me see if I can do this. This I'm trying to play the moment that all this happened. Um, on Wednesday night. By the way, it was great, a great event by Society of Chairs, organized by Andrea Tyler Evans from Front Doors Media to benefit the SOS Foundation. But let me see if I can get this video up. Okay, I think we can. I think we can. Let me see. I'm telling you, I'm the one who produces. Okay, that's the video. Can you guys hear what Carrie's saying? I don't know if I cannot hear it.
I'm not looking at you, Courtney Bennett.
Is
But
she?
I'm looking at you, Courtney
Okay,
Bennett.
this is the moment that
A
we were
huge round of
introduced.
applause
Let
for
me
the
see
woman who
if I
made
can
sure
listen
that
to
we
it.
all had a lovely signature cocktail to
Gary,
enjoy this evening, and a
my
supporter
assistant
of all
manager,
things philanthropic, Miss
is
Courtney
this
Bennett.
running? So Carrie's introducing us here. Anyway, this is not working.
Wow. Look at us all here together in 3D, right, Gary? So incredible to see everyone this evening. I'm overwhelmed. I'm emotional. It's so great to be in
No,
person.
sound
It's
is not
been a
working.
year. We don't need to review.
Nope. So anyway, we received the Hero Award from Courtney Bennett. Courtney Bennett, yes, the video. She says yes. Courtney, I'm trying to download the video. Oh, it's not happening. It stinks with the videos. But it was incredible because neither Gary or myself expected such a wonderful recognition. And from the bottom of our hearts, truly thank you to all of the attendees, everyone, Tito's Vodka, because it is truly an honor to be recognized for something that we do it from the heart. Gary and myself perhaps don't have the means to write millions of dollars checks, but we do what we can with the funds that we have and the time that we have to say thank you to the community for the work they do, help those that they're making the community bigger, and even being participant in nonprofits that are close to our hearts. As you will know, Gary is a former actor and a singer, and I am an architect. So we're both very fond of the world of arts. So Gary is part of several boards that aim to performance, the world of arts in terms of performance, and myself, I tend to gravitate towards applied arts. So I have. I'm part of several nonprofits and I'm part of several boards and committees, and I give my time and my extra time and even the time that I don't have to make sure that we are counted, to make sure that we are giving an extra um, push to those organizations that are close to us. This is the moment that our lovely Courtney Bennett is giving us the award, and it was just incredible. I wish I could run the video, but if I can, during all this transmission, at the end, I will run it because I'm learning. Anyway, so that was the moment. Thank you so much to Tito's Vodka, to Society of Chairs, to Andrea Tyler Evans, to Front Doors Media, to the SOS Foundation, because this was the occasion for us. And we are following the steps of my guest today, Mike Fornelli. So If you have any audio was working. Okay. My friend Courtney Bennett, she is plugged. So then she says the audio was working. Let's run it. Sorry, my introduction is going a little long, but let's play it.
Again.
Let's see.
So we're just going to get right to this. I am here on behalf of Tito's Handmade Vodka this evening. Oh, by the way, I got to give a shout out to my right hand, Mr. Nick Ashmore. God bless you, son. He keeps me sane, truly. This evening, I am presenting the Diversity Hero Award, and I have had the pleasure of getting to know these two gentlemen over the last few years, and it has been personally, professionally, a true inspiration. And it is my honor to present Gary Jackson and Oscar de la Salas with the Diversity Hero Award.
Oscar de la Salas and Gary Jackson are a true Phoenix power couple. They work tirelessly in the community to support a broad spectrum of causes, including the arts, programs serving children, LGBTQ nonprofits, and so much more. If you're going to a charity event in Phoenix, there's a good chance you'll see Oscar and Gary there. The two have chaired a number of events in our community, including ones for Scottsdale Arts, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Valley Youth Theater, and several other charities. And along with their beloved pug Hugo, they enjoy a broad spectrum of friendships and relationships in the Valley's philanthropic community. For these reasons and many more, they are the recipients of the Diversity Heroes Award at the Society of Chairs Gala.
Our hearts are beating like this heart right now, like this right here. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Tito's Vodka. This is a surprise. We love Tito's, don't we? Tito's Vodka. Through the pandemic. Yeah, they got us through the pandemic. So, quick remarks, because I know we have an incredible hero in our community to listen to her remarks. So first and foremost, thank you to each one of you. If you look around this room, you are the people that make this town move their hearts, that makes us palpitate every day. You inspire the community. You are bigger than us. You are bigger than our own community. And to me, you are, all of you, inspiration. You take time of your life and time of your time to make sure that your message and your nonprofit that you dedicate hours to get noticed. And it's a passion that we share with you. Enough, because my husband has to talk.
No, I'm crying here. I'm not supposed to be touching my face, right? That's the rule now. Thank you, Courtney and Andrea. This is amazing. You know, it's interesting coming in tonight. I was talking to Sean Daniels with ATC, and we were talking about coming back and seeing people in 3D. Yes. And I have to say, I look around the room, and I think you can all agree it's like being home with family. Yes. Very much like that. So thank you very much to all of our family. We love all of you very much.
Thank you. Oh, it's a picture. Put it right there.
That was the award, and we are following the steps of this man. That was the introduction from someone who we are following the steps of, and that is my guest today, Mike Fornelli.
Hey, mister, how are you?
How are you? Good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me. And can I just say, being able to share that moment with you and Gary when sneaky Miss Courtney Bennett, the Diversity Hero Award, it was amazing to be able to be there. And congratulations to you both.
Thank you so much for passing the baton, or actually for allowing us to be under your shadow. I mean, it's like this is like big shadow on the, like with you and be with you heart to heart. Thank you so much. We, as you saw during the video, oh my God, I'm still learning this thing. How moved we were. It was a big surprise for us.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Courtney's really good at surprising. She did the same thing to me. You were lucky though, because they got me I was stuffing my face with some good chocolate dessert when the whole thing started, and I was totally clueless. I had no idea what's going on.
So this is so great. And as we saw throughout your presentation or your intro, you've worked a lot in the community. I mean, and you do it from the heart. I can testify that personally. You give not only your business is part of it, but you give time of your time. How everything started, and walk me through the curiosity of giving back.
So for me, it has to do a lot with my upbringing and my coming out story. I was raised in the 70s and 80s when people didn't really talk about anything gay. And if they did, or if there was a perception, it was always negative, right? Yeah. So for me, growing up, and I grew up Italian, I grew up Roman Catholic, I went to Catholic schools all my life in a very small, sheltered town. And I knew that I was different. I didn't know exactly what that was because I didn't really have any role models. I didn't have anything to, organizations at that point in time that helped support that. So when I finally left Erie and moved to Pittsburgh, was my opportunity to kind of explore who I was and find out who I was. Mm-hmm. And then when I moved to Arizona, that's when I actually really did come out, and I came out in a big way. I ended up buying a gay bar, and but because of the love that the community showed me once I came out, and being able to have that platform with the bar to provide a safe space and allow people to be their authentic selves, I made that pledge that my business would always give back to our community. And our only motto at BS West for all my staff is treat people the way you want to be treated, and there's no other rules that you need to live by. So I am very proud of what we've been able to do with BS West over the past 30 some years in either helping with funding or helping people have fundraisers, or just, like I said, be able to provide a safe space and education for our community.
Quick question. Thank you for just giving me an understanding of all that it means to you. Like, what is the bar? What is a safe space, a safe place for most of us when we come out? Because myself, I went through my own process as well. Walk me or tell me, how was your first one-on-one with walking into a safe space? Did you go in Erie? Did you go in Pittsburgh? Your first bar one-on-one decision, like, this is it.
So I need to preface it before walking into my very first safe space. I was living in Pittsburgh. I was going to college. Yeah. And the Gateway Clipper fleet, I don't know if you know what that is. It's no. 3 three party boats that go up the three rivers that
Okay.
okay. And I had heard through the grapevine that there was a gay party cruise that was going to be happening on the Gateway Clipper fleet. I was looking for a bartending job anyhow, so I went and applied to bartend that cruise. I actually, and I'm not very proud of it, but I lied and said that I had tons of bartending experience when actually I made drinks in my own home, and that was about it. So after experiencing being on that cruise, working it, and seeing that everybody was just like me, that's when I decided that I was going to go to my first safe space, which was Pegasus on Liberty Avenue in Pittsburgh. It's, if you ever saw Queer as Folk,
Yep.
that the bar that they go to is modeled, even though it was filmed in Toronto, it takes place in Pittsburgh on Liberty Avenue. So that's kind of what it was modeled after. So I finally, after driving around the block a couple times and walking by the door, but then kept going, I finally got the courage to go in. And if you go to Pegasus, you go down a flight of stairs, the door guy's there, he checks your ID, and then there's a set of doors that open up and you just walk into this fabulous, amazing space. So the first night I was totally petrified. So I got a bar stool, I put it right by where that door guy was. And if anybody came near me, I was out the door. And that happened for a little while, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Like, I still went, but I wasn't sure how to interact. I was right.
Yep.
So after about 3 weeks of that, I go in, I get my little bar stool, and the waiter comes over with an Iron City beer. It's Pittsburgh, right? And that's what I drank at the time.
Yeah.
And he said, "This is from that gentleman over there." And I looked and was mortified because it was one of my professors, and I knew I was, yeah. I knew I was going to have class on Monday, so I had one of two choices. I either go and interact, or I run out the door and then never go to class again. So, I went over, I thanked him for the beer, and he said, I've been here with my friends. I've seen you come in, and I just want you to know that it's okay, and if you ever need to talk or whatever, I'm here. And that resonated so much with me, that realizing a lot of people that come into BS Western come into a bar, it may be their first time, and they need to feel comfortable. They need to have that acceptance. So yeah, that was my first safe space experience.
You just answered the next question that I had. It was, how do you apply that first experience with your customers? It's just because it is somehow an encounter with yourself. Somehow it's a nervousness, a nerve wrack, if you would, to be confronted with the reality that perhaps you are gay because you don't know what is happening. So have you had conversations? Have you had any kind of situation that you have to solve with someone?
I've had, looking back over the 30 some years, I run into people all the time, people that are good friends of mine, people that I have never met before that say to me, BS West was the first bar that I came into. And one of the first people I met was you. And you were so nice to me because you bought me a drink and you had a conversation. You introduced yourself. You made me feel so comfortable. So it's very heartwarming to hear that. I enjoy doing it. Work is not work for me. I enjoy what I'm doing, and if you do that, then you're not working. You're having fun, and you're doing what you want to do. So to hear that from people, not even realizing that was the impact, is pretty amazing and pretty humbling.
So thank you for doing that, because that allows kids or even older people that have not talked to themselves about that circumstance to feel warm, to feel welcome, to be part of something that perhaps they have missed or perhaps they're curious about. So, any of you that are watching out of state, my guest today, Mike Fornelli, owns this wonderful bar in downtown Scottsdale, which is, I would say, a very conservative town. And Mike had the grace, or very gracefully, had navigated a town that perhaps don't look at us in a good way, but things have changed, fortunately. And by the way, thank you so much to Mayor Ortega, right? Thank you so much to Mayor Ortega, because now the city of Scottsdale has an anti-discrimination law, and that means with a law like that, things are easier for all of us. If you leave BS West at 1 in the morning, God forbid something happened, there is a law that protects you. That's the importance of being present and being vocal. And all of your calls and your requests, because I share these a lot on social media, for people to either call the city council or or uh, be able to speak in one of the council meetings. So, and I think you helped through that process. Tell me a little bit about your involvement on that.
So with I can't take hardly any credit, because Equality Arizona and One Community were very, very instrumental in that. But we worked together in partnership with those and other LGBTQ plus organizations. And when the Mesa ordinance was up, we knew that Scottsdale was going to follow pretty close behind. And they sent drafts over for all of us to take a look at, to make recommendations, to, give our input. And then, much like yourself, Michael at Equality Arizona and Angela at One Community kept sending out saying, hey, sign up for this, be present, make your voice known, and it happened, and it's totally amazing. So, yeah.
And this is so great. This is good for business. This is good for us. This is good for the community. I'm sharing the page from BS West. If you want to visit and see what the community is all about and how welcoming it is, you can go to bswest.com, and then you can have a drink, 2 drinks, watch a show, have a good time, and be part of a community that is inclusive and will never ever judge you for who you are or what you want to be like, or whatever you are, whoever you want to be. So thank you for creating that space. But you mentioned something about your life. What I do in this show is I visit the person and I visit their lives, and I help to open the door and the conversation to the community to learn more about them and about what they're passionate about, their work or their nonprofit. But I found some incredible images from back then when, and this is a reel from the wonderful years. So those are a few snippets of your life from the past, from the golden years, from the years past. I always ask these questions this question to my guests.
Mhm.
If you were able to talk to young Mike at that age we saw the last picture, what would you tell him? What message would you want him to leave the conversation, like it's bouncing, that message bouncing on his head?
Um, I think what I would tell a young me, other than stop doing some of the stupid things that you did back then. Is that, life is really short, and 30 some years have gone by so quickly. So make the best of them and do what you can do, because you're not going to be here forever, and you need to leave a mark, or some kind of an impression that you've helped people along the way. So do it every day of your life.
That's a beautiful message. And I think that the common thread to most of the people that I've talked to here is the same thing, is the ability to create a step on the ground that leaves a mark every time you step forward. Doesn't matter what happened, the mistakes you make or anything. It's just like walk your life the way you know. Have you had any opportunity to sit down with someone young? I know because of 1 in 10, you were part of 1 in 10 and part of the board of 1 in 10. For those of you that are not in Arizona, 1 in 10 is perhaps our biggest organization for LGBT kids. And Mike was part of the board. Have you had an opportunity, or let me ask you this. If you had an opportunity to talk to some youth in 1 in 10, and are you still a part of 1 in 10 somehow?
So yes to both questions. One, Nate and Clayton and a bunch of the other folks over there are dear friends and people that I've known forever. So Phoenix Pride, as much as we can, try to collaborate, to partner with 1 in 10, do whatever we can. I don't know if you know, I don't know if the community knows, but the 2 rainbow crosswalks that we installed a few years back, one on 7th Avenue in Melrose and one right outside the Parsons Center. Phoenix Pride did that in conjunction with 1 in 10. And the 2 organizations, there's no tax dollars used for that. The 2 organizations pay for that. They pay for the installation. They pay for the maintenance and upkeep of that. And that's just one of the ways that we've been able to work together and hopefully improve things here in Phoenix.
Fantastic. It's one of our favorite nonprofits. My husband and myself, we support them tremendously. We were honorary co-chairs to one of their galas, and we always try to be part of the committee. We've been in the committee many times, but this is an organization that is parallel to the organization that you helped to create. So we understand that you own BS West, but you also own Phoenix Pride, and there are 2 festivals a year here in Phoenix that you are the CEO and president of, correct?
I do not own Phoenix Pride, but I am the executive director of Phoenix Pride. That is correct.
Director of Phoenix Pride. Let me just get it right. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so for some people, that perhaps never been to Pride, they don't know about Pride, they don't have perhaps the curiosity to even investigate what is Pride. We have this video that it was rolled a few years back, and I would love to roll it so people can see, or the community and the people that are watching can see what does Pride means to you.
In Arizona was Phoenix Pride back in 2017 around March. It was actually the day right after my birthday, and I remember waking up and just being so excited, because for me that was my first big experience being out and being involved in a community that I was like freshly a part of, so it was great.
This one actually is our first Pride event. Phoenix Pride when I was 15 and I just came out to my family.
What brought me here to Rainbows Fest this year is my wife is actually Miss Phoenix Pride, so I'm here helping with her, representing, and also I'm happy just to be at a Pride Fest. I love Pride, so.
I've been exploring my sexuality, and I feel like exposing myself to these types of events are definitely going to help me to understand myself better.
Because I'm just getting a chance to talk with a lot of old friends.
I'm here at the Rainbows Festival because it's a new experience for me. I'm not out back at home, and so being able to experience a community like this just for myself before going out like the rest of my family and whatnot, it's right now it's like helping me out a lot.
So the reason I'm here today at the Rainbows Festival is because I want to be confident in myself, and I also want to have that voice of confidence for other people. You know, our sexuality doesn't define us, but it is a part of us, and to be judged for that and to experience so many terrible things because of that, it's one of those things that makes you want to take a stand and celebrate who you are every single day until you can't do it anymore.
It's definitely important to have these events year-round. You know, people are constantly going through these problems, and people need to know that they're supported and that they have a strong community to refer to. People are more progressive nowadays, but there's still people that still don't feel accepted, and we need to, you know, counteract that feeling of oppression with, you know, more love and support.
For people like me, where we don't get out very often, we're kind of chained to our routines day in and day out. We lose our connections with our people and the people that we're comfortable with. So having events like this to bring us all back together and kind of reconnecting, I mean, it's critical for who we are.
We need to come out and show community support. We don't always have it throughout the year. It seems like we only have the bar scene, so it's kind of nice to come out and see everybody else who doesn't come out normally to those bar type events. So it's great.
People have to talk. People have to know. People, there are children out there that are suffering and they don't know what to do. And they have to have somebody, some outlet that they can talk to. And every family should be able to talk to their children and not be embarrassed about it.
Pride means giving them hell, making sure that you stand out, making sure that no one steps on you, and making sure that your voice is heard no matter what.
Pride means everything to me. It's taken me a really long time to be comfortable with myself. So pride means just not being sorry for who you are.
Pride to me means being who I am, regardless of color, race, gender identity, anything of the sort.
It means a lot of things. Pride is expressing who you are, whether you are here because you are gay or lesbian. Pride is just having that sense of pride within yourself. I'm bisexual, but I'm married and I got $3. I'm very proud of that.
Pride means being yourself and not being afraid of anything. And being confident in yourself as well. I think that's very important too. If you're not proud of yourself, it's going to show. And out here, I don't see that. I see a lot of proud people, and it makes me feel better knowing that there are people out here just confident in themselves. It makes me feel more confident because of that.
So that was a fantastic message. I mean, every person leaves a note in that video. That was during the Rainbows Festival, right?
Yeah, that was Rainbows Festival of 2017. So right before, I was on the board at the time, but I stepped off the board and became executive director in 2018. So that was right prior to me being executive director. Justin Owen, a dear friend and
yes,
you know, still a huge influence and involvement with Phoenix Pride. That was during Justin's term. And prior to that, Brandy was actually the first executive director of Phoenix Pride. So I'm trying to fill the shoes of two other amazing executive directors.
So, so because of COVID, we didn't have Pride 2020 or Rainbows Festival 2020. So I know that you did a virtual Pride, right? And the community kept themselves in connecting through via Zoom. Now we are having Pride this year. We are having Pride, and there is a save the date note on the website. What is going to happen?
Well,
now that you're telling me.
Well, after 3 postponements, you know, fingers crossed that we'll be able to have it. Mm-hmm. We're at an advantage in that we were 3 weeks away, almost, less than a month away of having Pride back April 2020, and then all of this hit. So to our advantage, we had everything pretty much planned out and ready to go. So our entertainment lineup, all of that, local and national entertainment, have been able to work with us through these 3 different postponements. Wow. And we're able to still have everybody that we were hoping to have a year ago, as well as all of the partnerships with our sponsors. Everybody has been so amazing working through this. It's not easy, and it's not easy for everybody. And the fact that everybody is able to work together and willing to help each other out just shows what an amazing community that we have. So you can expect hopefully a very, very prideful and very, very exciting festival. November 6th and 7th, the parade kicks off at 10 a.m. on November 6th down 3rd Street, right up to the gates of Steele Indian School Park, where hopefully we'll have our most successful, most prideful, and first large gathering, and we get to see all your smiling faces after, a year and a half of not being able to do that. So.
Yeah. So this is not easy organization. It's not. It's a big enterprise. How many people are part of all this? How many volunteers? How big is the staff?
So I have an amazing team. There's 4 of us total. Eva Angelica Stratton, who is our Eva Steele. Eva's also a performer, so she has her Eva Steele, or Eva Angelica Stratton is her stage name. Is our program manager. Victor Avila is our development manager, and Stella Kowalczyk is our volunteer and events manager, as well as our accessibility manager. So there's 4 of us that are in the office every single day as staff, but we also have an amazing board of directors that have been so supportive of me over the last 3 years that I've been there. I couldn't ask for a better board. And then, kudos to our 600 plus volunteers. Wow. We would not be able to put on the events that we could put on without the support and volunteers from our community, as well as our community partners and our sponsors. So we are thankful for everybody that's involved.
So Pride is an incredible, fantastic, fun weekend, and it remind us, because I'm part of the community, that specific community, that we are incredibly proud of who we are, and we extend ourselves into the community with no masks, nothing to hide, how we are as people, as person. I mean, I have a husband, I go to my office, I work in the community. I'm just another person, but I've happened to have part of my life is having a husband. The walk of many of the community members has not been easy, and I just want to talk about the transgender portion of our community. Lately, it's been very difficult for them to, or actually, it's been a few years now. There's a lot of issues. Security issues, let's say, with them. Have you had any conversations with the transgender community, and do you have any experiences that you want to share? Anything that perhaps will sound familiar to people and perhaps create awareness to the community about the transgender portion of the community?
Well, absolutely, and you're absolutely correct, especially, the former administration. Those 4 years were just horrible for our transgender community, rights being stripped away, the ability to be in the military, the threatening, not being able to participate in sports because of who they are. And, Eva, our program manager is transgender, and Eva is absolutely amazing in fielding phone calls, in doing trainings. This year we did add LGBTQ plus diversity and inclusion trainings for corporations within our programming, and gender diverse culture training within our community, and even working with law enforcement. Eva was part of their training videos in helping people that don't necessarily understand other people that they think are different, that they really aren't different, and that they needed to be treated with respect, and how to interact with folks, find out what their pronouns are, learn how to address them and treat them according to how they identify. So we have been able to do a lot of work. There's tons more work to be done, but I really do have to give a huge kudos to Eva, because she's been instrumental in a lot of that.
So thank you for going through an extent to explain all this, because like we were just talking, like you just mentioned, the last 4 years, the last administration, it was difficult, and it's not a secret to anyone how difficult it is for those who are on the opposite side of the administration, trying to survive, trying to go through life day by day, day to day, finding themselves behind doors and windows, hiding from the community, when we need is them to be part of it and bring the best of them. So thank you for walking me through that. So, and that opens this explanation that in our community, we all know that this is you can see it barely in the background, but it's a multicolor flag, and the designers of the flag and people through the community around the world had included the brown people and the brown community and the black community and the transgender community with a color to be part of that conversation, and to make sure that we are present and that we're counted. Question: have you had any opportunity to talk to, like, going to Pride? I know you are part of a lot of conversations in town. What is the sentiment in the community leading towards Pride? Is the community secure? Do they feel okay? Do we have the backup from police, law enforcement, the mayor, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, so we have had a lot of conversations, and especially with some of the unfortunate things that occurred over the last couple of years. We started our own law enforcement advisory committee to work with different police departments throughout the state, to try to bridge that gap between our community and some perceived mistrust for law enforcement in general. I have a lot of friends that are LGBTQ law enforcement, and we at Phoenix Pride, when we hire off-duty, we have some amazing off-duty officers that work the festival for us, because they're either part of our community or they're an ally of our community. But unfortunately, they fall under that umbrella of law enforcement, and it comes with the job title. So we're trying to open those conversations. We're trying to let people that have fears in our community know that these people are standing in solidarity with them and not there for any adverse reasons. So that's been ongoing for the past year. And then, we have the complete support of the city. You asked about the mayor and all of that. And certain people over at the Capitol. I don't know if you know or not, but our Secretary of State was actually a staff member at Phoenix Pride a few years back, and is still a very vital volunteer. And Katie was instrumental in, although it didn't stay up very long, flying the rainbow flag and transgender flag at the Capitol, as well as the mayor's office and Laura Pastor's office, and helping us get the rainbow flag and transgender flags up at the mayor's office as well at City Hall. So.
Yeah, and I remember that day clearly. This is an incredible picture that perhaps stays right here in my memory of that day. I remember walking down 3rd Street, and then I I actually make a right into the street and I saw all these balloons and all these the love sign with the balloons, and it was just so vibrant and music playing. It was just a fantastic ride. So I know because of COVID we're not able to be out and about, but I'm sure that with all the safety precautions, we're going to have a fantastic time, and hopefully we'll be all vaccinated by July 4th. So is my message to the community: get vaccinated. Now, I just roll a quick video. I would love to roll this video for you because I know that you are part of what Pride is in this town. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, this looks like a very good time, right?
It is going to be a lot of fun. I'm so excited to finally be able to work with these folks that we've had on hold for over a year now, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're all like, we're trying to go out. Like Wednesday night was so great to see the community. It was so great to like being sitting in front of you, and I was like, oh my God, I have to talk to Mike. What is going to happen with Pride? And thank you for saying yes to have this sit down with me. And a part of what you do with Pride, a part of what Pride does is help the community. And this is something that I would love you to give me a lot of information. These 40 years of pride, of fortitude, let's say these 40 years of fortitude, because that's the word that needs to be used this year, and the one that Pride is using, had given us so much back to the community. Walk me or tell me about the $1 million plus that you have given, or the Phoenix Pride have given back to the community.
Sure. So, when people think Phoenix Pride, they automatically think a 2-day festival. What they do not realize is that Phoenix Pride is a community foundation that runs programs to give back to the LGBTQ plus and allied communities. So we have our Phoenix Pride Scholarship Fund, which coincidentally, the applications just closed yesterday. But we give out $5,000 scholarships for our community to be able to continue their education. We have to date given almost $350,000 out in scholarships through the Arizona Community Foundation. Last year, in 2020, even with everything else going on, we were able to give out $52,000 in scholarships. Part of that scholarships includes athletic scholarships in partnership with the Phoenix Gay Flag football team. And this year we are adding a veteran scholarship. Thanks to Dr. Ryan Starzik, who is the vice president of our board. So we will now have a veteran scholarship as well. So that's one program of Give Back. Our second program of Give Back, our Community Grants Program, and it's a charitable program which provides project-based grants to other nonprofits in our community that are trying to start new programming but don't necessarily have the funding for it. We, since the inception of since the community grants have been brought back, we've given out little over 220,000 in community grants. And then we also have our partnership volunteer grant program, which makes up the difference for a total of a little over $1 million of give back to the community through Phoenix Pride over the years. So, if you want to be a part of that and help, you can go to our website, www.phoenixpride.org. There's a donation page on there. If you want to have a conversation and learn a little bit more about the organization, you can always call me. We have a very open door policy at the office. If you would like to potentially join the board or a committee, we have 7 committees. So if board service is too scary, but you might want to join a committee and get a little more involved, there's opportunities on our website for that, as well as just general volunteer opportunities. But I really want to reiterate that we do have an open door policy. We want to hear from the community. We want to do what's best for the community and what the community wants. So please don't hesitate to call us or, pop by and say hi, because we always love to see smiling faces.
This is so great. I mean, look, all the different levels that you have, you can help, or you give back to the community. That's Phoenix Pride, and then there is the Rainbow Festival. They both merge into one, correct?
That is correct. So the Rainbows Festival was actually acquired by Phoenix Pride. It didn't start with Phoenix Pride, but Phoenix Pride purchased it, and so now it is the second largest LGBTQ plus festival. That is our free admission festival. There is no charge to attend the Rainbows Festival. Unfortunately, in 2020, we were not able to have a Rainbows Festival. So our plan, now that we have moved the Pride Festival to November, is to keep the Pride Festival in November and then turn around in April of 2022, have the Rainbows Festival the first weekend in April, and then just leave it there.
I want to run this quick video.
Yep.
Happy anniversary, Phoenix Pride.
Can you hear? Can you listen?
Happy 40th anniversary, Phoenix Pride.
Happy anniversary, Phoenix Pride. I got involved with Phoenix Pride in 1991. The organization was trying to get off the ground and get some kind of footing. There was no real structure. There was just this need to expand and try to include as much of the community as possible.
Tish Tanner, who was entertainment chair at the time, recruited me to help with the country western stage. And from there, I got on the board. That was 1993. And then in 2001, Ernie decided to vacate, and so I ended up becoming president of the board in 2001. I took over a completely bankrupt organization who in April we had the entire festival blown away. People with broken arms, broken merchandise, broken tents. We never got RuPaul was supposed to go on stage. He never made it. So it was the disaster year.
The organization was acting very frugally, and rightfully so. Our funds were low. Fundraising was still also pretty low.
And everybody said we were dead. We'd never make it. And so Ernie and I got together and sat and made plans. And I said, we're not closing up Phoenix Pride. And here we are today, a few $1 million later, thank you to Mike and the other directors at the board over the years.
When I joined Phoenix Pride, it was a huge transition year for us
We went from a working board to a governing board, and I handled all the day-to-day operations of the organization, from reviving events that had been long past, like the Mr. and Miss Phoenix Gay Pride Pageant, to growing our scholarship program and our community grants program.
As I was coming on, it had become much more a professional staff overseen by the board and focused more on making sure they ran it in a business-like fashion.
Phoenix Pride is one of the most well-run organizations I've seen out there. The amount of commitment that it gets from its managers, from its board, and from its staff is absolutely phenomenal. I would say it is one of the top ones in the entire United States.
The evolution of this organization is immense. I mean, it's night and day from when I was with the organization. In '81, the event was at the Phoenix Civic Center. I remember it was great. Everybody was having a wonderful time. The one that still sticks out the most is when we marched on Central Avenue, and people were cheering and chanting, "We took Central, we took Central." That was the strongest chant of everything. I joined in on the first march. I walked out of my school and I jumped in and started chatting with everybody else. It was the first time that I felt at home, because I actually had never ever said that I was gay up to that time. I noticed people trying to figure out whether they would join in to the march. Some did, some didn't. It was evident that people were afraid of joining in, but they were there in spirit, you know, and that was a good thing. There was several community centers. I remember a young boy calling and telling us on the line that he'd just been beaten up by his father, and he was somewhere between 14 and 16, and we couldn't find any place to take him. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. Because he was young and we knew that he needed help, it was a conscious decision to go and help him. And to see this kid bleeding and just hurt, and knowing that his father had done this to him, was it's still hard. To this day, I don't know what happened to him, you know? You hope when you volunteer for an organization like Pride that you're helping somebody. I think all the volunteers, all the board members, everybody sees this as hope for somebody who is lost, who needs to be found.
Where the organization has evolved now, as I view it, is beyond what I anticipated. The quality of the staff, the quality of the board, their impact on the community is plainly visible.
When I started, we only had a handful of board members, and in the time we saw it wax and wane, and now that the board is 13, 14 strong, something like that.
I think as the community continues to grow, the organization is going to continue to grow. The last several years around my involvement, we've already seen tremendous growth.
The Phoenix Pride staff is an amazing group of community leaders who continue to expand the mission of Pride and what our goals are, and continue to elevate the brand, and they're really defining where we're heading in the next 40 years.
Pride means community. I love our community, but our community is divisive. And for 2 days a year here in Phoenix, people put it aside and they get together and they get along, and everybody comes together as one big family.
We bring together ourselves so that our community can see us, so that our families can know us better, and so that we can never forget that we have a goal, and that goal is to achieve equality and acceptance.
Pride means living as your authentic self, not being afraid of who you are, not wanting to be who others say you should be, because this is the one place that you are guaranteed to be able to be your authentic self.
I think that if we can't accept ourselves, we can't actually help anybody else.
And Phoenix Pride is at the heart of creating a situation where those people can find themselves.
I talked to a lot of people at the festival, but I had a particularly sobering conversation with one of our guests who told me that for 363 days out of the year, they're alone in the world. They look forward to 2 days where they can come out and be their authentic self.
It's always someone's first pride. It's always some young person who thinks that there's not much left out there, that this is the first time they feel valued. I'm honored that I've been able to do the work I've done with Pride organizations because it was a Pride organization that saved me. I was a 15-year-old gay man that was thinking about taking my own life. And it was the introduction to a Pride festival that made me realize I wasn't alone. It made me realize there were others like me, and I could survive and I could thrive. So that's why you'll always catch me at the front gate when it opens, because I want to see that one face of the person who it was their first Pride.
Every year that I was in charge of the festival, and I told all the board, there's a hill up behind kind of where the dance stage is, and I said, some point over the weekend, every one of you need to go on top of that hill because you need to take a look at what you've created. Every year I just marveled at, wow, look at what we did. Look around. It's great.
Can you feel it?
Wow.
Can you feel it? 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 Can you feel it?
So much information, so good. Is the entire community in one big organization? I mean, it's like it touches a lot of people.
And can I just say that every single person you saw in that video are amazing people that I look at for inspiration. I look at as mentors. I look for advice, and I just enjoy the friendship. But yeah.
Those people are part of your heart. And I know we're past the hour, and I told you that it's 1 hour, but sorry at the beginning, the video, etc., etc. But those people are part of your life. They know you, and they want to send a message to you. So here's some messages.
Hey Mike, it's Clayton Davenport and Christopher Davenport reporting live from Cabo. Hi Mike. Just a shout out to you. Hi, we love you.
We love you. Congratulations on the bar success. We're so proud of you. We can't wait to see you again, and hope you have a great day.
And there's more messages coming.
Hi, my name is Victor Avila, and I have the honor of working with Mike Fornelli at Phoenix Pride. Mike is not only an incredible community leader, he's an incredible person. I'm very honored to be able to have him as a mentor and to work alongside him every single day. Our community is very lucky to have Mike lead them. Thanks, Mike.
Hey everybody, Marshall Shore, Arizona's hip historian, and I am here to talk about one of the pillars of our community, Mike Fornelli. Now, I first had the opportunity to get to know Mike better about 15 years ago when we were both on the board of 1 in 10, doing great work for our community as well as for its youth. Now, in that time, I've had many a great cocktail out at BS West, sitting on the patio under that really cool stained glass covering that has ties to Scottsdale's fashion icon, Lloyd Kiva New. Then I got really excited when you came on as the executive director of Phoenix Pride, because it was another opportunity to work with you with preserving history through the Arizona LGBT plus History Project. And in the last few years, we've had many successes. I think some of the highlights have been doing a gay history traveling display with the Arizona Historical Society, as well as doing a commemoration for Nikolai Duralin, who was a 1906 Russian gender pioneer who passed away here in Phoenix, pre-statehood. And through that commemoration, we then got him a headstone, which he had never had one before. And so, Mike, I just want to say thank you for all your contributions. I really do look forward to getting the opportunity to work with you in the future as the world starts to come back alive and awake. I look forward to getting a chance to preserve and document and create more awareness of cool history and just having lots more fun with you. Mike, thank you so much for all you do. Have a great night.
Hi, Mike. Just want to send a quick note how much you're appreciated in the community, how much I value your friendship and your partnership. And we are all truly lucky to have you part of our Phoenix family and community, and so appreciative of all you do here for us. And I can't wait to grab a beer soon.
Well, hello, Mr. Michael Fornelli. Courtney Bennett here, president of your fan club, Tito's Handmade Vodka. Just wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude that you were in my life, and let you know what a wonderful influence you've been on me over the last number of years. You are a true industry icon, community leader, and also you somehow managed to upstage me fashion-wise at all our events, but I guess it's okay because you're always on my arm. So on that note, I love you tons, and actually I'm on my way to go meet you right now. See you soon.
That was a series of like little notes that I wanted to share with you.
You got me, Oscar.
You see, when you are loved, and we love you in the community, big time.
I love you, and I love our community as well. And that was pretty special right there. Thank you.
Well, I know that it was been more than an hour. I'm sorry, it just like had all these issues, but all these people and many more sent all their messages. There's one question that someone sent, and it's anonymous. I'm sorry, I'm not able to disclose the name. There's many questions here on my phone, by the way. So like all the questions that I received while I'm in the broadcast. And perhaps we can close with this. It's a long question, but I'm going to try to condense it. So this is a, whatever name is, I wonder if it's secure, quote unquote, and safe to take my 15-year-old child to Phoenix Pride this year. He had asked me questions, and he wants answers, but he wants to be participant of Pride, whatever the name is. So what would be your answer to this mother who feels that it's a moment, but it's not a moment, who feels that it's good, but it's not good? She's kind of concerned, but she wants to take her kid to Pride. What would be your answer?
My answer would be, please, by all means, take your child to Phoenix Pride. Let your child experience, let your child ask questions, answer the questions that you can. If you can't, reach out to somebody that will be able to answer those questions for you. I have seen many situations where a parent has taken their child to Phoenix Pride for the first time, and it's just overwhelming to watch the overwhelming expressions, right?
Yeah.
My favorite, most memorable moment of any Phoenix Pride was the first year that I was executive director, and a handy-capable mother of 7 children had a child that was struggling with their identity, and wanted to bring them to see Coco Montrese in the VIP room because their child loved RuPaul's Drag Race, and they unfortunately couldn't afford it, and also at that time VIP was restricted to 18 and older, and so being able to make the concessions for them to be able to come, and for her child to be able to meet Coco Montrese and to experience that was one of the most memorable and heartwarming things that I've ever seen.
You got me on that one. You got me on that one.
It's a fun festival, but there are so many heartwarming, tear-jerking moments as well. Like, it's awesome.
Those are kids that, in this case, I can see how worried is this mother, that she even mentioned on her comment that she wants to be anonymous. And as we know, not many stories like this one end up well in the past. We're very thankful that we have a community that is open and you can talk about all these issues and find answers for your kids. I have to say thank you to you once again for spending this hour plus with me and all these people that have tons of questions that I will forward you, or we will answer them on the blog post. But thank you so much, Mike, for all of what you do for all of us.
Thank you, and thank you for doing this, and thank you for inviting me. And congratulations to you and Gary again, because you all are diversity heroes as well. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, we'll see you out and about on 3D, like Gary says, sometime soon. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Thank
you,
you.
Mike. Bye-bye. That was Mike Fornelli. As you see, there are some moments during these transmission of all these shows that I become very emotional, and I hope that information or that emotion gets to you, because all these people that I have with me, they're speaking from their heart, and they're advocates, the advocacy, let's say, it comes from their heart. They are part of the community, and if you see them out and about, just tap them on the shoulder and say thank you, because they do give time of their time of their life to make sure that we continue moving forward. So before we leave today, I didn't run this quick note that I found on 12 News about pride, and please, I would love to share it with you. Indulge me for just a few minutes more. This is the note.
While things may look a little different due to COVID-19, nothing can stop the Phoenix Pride March from celebrating its 40th anniversary. So we look back at the march's humble beginning, where a group of activists fought for the rights for an unheard minority. Team 12's Vanessa Ramirez spoke with one of the organization's most senior members.
Ernie Mendoza is awestruck with how much Central Avenue has changed throughout the last 40 years.
It's like night and day change, night and day. I mean, I was at the first marches, parades, whatever you want to call them. For me, that was my coming out to myself, I guess. It was the first time I actually said to myself that I'm gay.
Ernie has been advocating for the LGBT community in Phoenix for decades, volunteering at a crisis hotline for gay and lesbian individuals. And
I then joined the committee, and for 10 years was the logistic director of the organizations. I set the event up in Tempe Diablo Stadium for 10 years. Became the president in 96 till 2001.
Ernie recognizes how far things have come for the community, but remembers the struggles he and the founders would endure just to make something as simple as Pride March happen.
Beth and her partner, Mary, almost lost their home and their business because the amount of work and time that was necessary to put into such an event.
Since then, the organization has made many significant contributions to LGBTQ-focused nonprofit groups. They have also paved the way for its youth by providing over $1 million in scholarships for LGBTQ individuals.
So I have been volunteering for over 25 years. I believe in it. I think it's important, necessary. And my goal is to continue volunteering till I drop, and hopefully it's at a Pride Festival.
In downtown Phoenix, Vanessa Ramirez, 12 News.
Demi, I have so many text messages and notes from people that are watching. I have to admit that the mother who sent the message really touched my heart. So I hope she found a good answer from Mike and then also from me. Mike, thank you once again for the time that you gave us. Thank you so much. Our hero, and we are so happy to continue your work or be by your side to continue working in the community. So if you know of someone or you know of any nonprofit or community organization or a person that is a leader that I need to talk to, I should be talking to, let me know. We have a good list of people coming up, but we can always make more time for new people coming into these live broadcast. I appreciate your time. This is it for me. This is another incredible broadcast from the heart. And I have surprises coming up. You will see it next show. Pretty cool surprises because now I'm getting sponsors. Go figure. That was the idea. And there's a possibility that this show becomes a part of a channel. There's a lot of conversations happening. From my heart to yours, thank you so much. Have a great night. See you soon. Stay safe. Bye-bye.